The following matchup is presented and played with Hockey Blast Express, a product of Play Games LLC, copyright 2023, all rights reserved. And welcome back, everybody, to the channel as we get set for another time frame matchup in this 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens Gauntlet Challenge. As you can see, we're back in the original six, as depicted by the original six hockey rink background. And today, we have none other than the 2022-23 Boston Bruins, another rivalry matchup in this Gauntlet Challenge for the sorry, I forgot to put the games counter there for the Habs. As you guys can see, a new time frame, a new day. The opponents featured is the 22-23 Boston Bruins. And let's get right into it. Your starting goaltenders are Linus Ullmark going for the Bruins. And for the Habs, we have Ken Dryden in net. So no change to either players. To the visiting goalies' play save, shot save, stars. You can expect this to be an all-out knockdown, drag them out, dogfight here as we get set for Game 1 of this time frame. Let's see who between the Bruins and the Habs will take another round in this 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens Gauntlet Challenge. And it looks like the referee is getting set to drop the puck, and he's about to. Let's get right into it. Will the clock operator please start the clock? And the puck has been dropped, and we are going to begin with a visitor scoring chance of a 41. Visitor player in 4 creates a goal with a quality roll of hit or ace triangle. Charlie McAvoy is in the 4th spot. He does not have hits, and he does not have a triangle. He has a square, so nothing will come up there for that. Time for that segment, and we move on. Penalty check. Between players 1 and 3, Bob Gainey and Charlie Coyle. Both guys have the same penalty rating of 0.5, and we will move on to the next segment here in this in Game 1 of this time frame here. Visitor scoring chance of a 44. Any visitor player with a triangle creates a goal. We have 2, Patrice Bergeron or Jake DeBrusk. I do want to keep at least the power play circle star out there and the square. So we're going to go with Jake DeBrusk. Jake DeBrusk is going to be moving in on Ken Dryden, who needs to make a 4 or 5 with a dot to make the stop. He does so. Jake DeBrusk moved in on Ken Dryden, but Ken Dryden says, "Nah, no way. You ain't beating me." And we move on. We got a quality check, this time for between players 1 and 3. That's Wilson and Bergeron for power. I told you I would keep Patrice Bergeron out there, and it seems I made the right move. As he does have power, so he's going to be moving in on Ken Dryden, hopefully to score the first goal for the Boston Bruins, which he will do so. He scores. Patrice Bergeron will score the opening goal of this Game 1 and of this time frame. Let's see how many assists. 2. It looks like we're going to give Hampus Lindholm and Taylor Hall the assists on the Patrice Bergeron goal, and the Bruins lead by a score of 1-0. And look at this. The hothead, Brad Marchand, is out on the ice. And we continue on. Home scoring chance of a 52. Visitor defense player in 3. That's Tomasz Nosek. He could stop a Montreal goal chance with a quality roll of hit or a square. Otherwise, it's going to be a goal and a tie game. Oh, and unfortunately, Nosek does not have hit, and he does not have a square. So therefore, it will be a goal for the Habs as the game is tied at 1. Let's figure out who scored the goal. 9. Second best shot rating. The best out there is a tie between Tremblay and Wilson. The second best is a tie between Jarvis and Mario Tremblay and Larry Robinson, I should say, are the best. The second best is a tie between Jarvis and Wilson. I think we're going to keep Jarvis out there because of the square and the circle. So we're going to give the goal to Maury Wilson. The assist is 1 assist. Larry Robinson will take the assist on the Maury Wilson goal, and it's tied up at 1 apiece. Quality check, this time between players 2 and 4. That's Tremblay and Brandon Carlo for Smart. Neither of them have Smart, and that's going to do it for the first period. And after 20 minutes in the books of hearing game 1, the score is deadlocked at 1 apiece. We begin the second period with a quality check between anybody on the ice for the Habs and player 2, that's Garnet Hathaway for the Bruins, and we're looking for power. Pick your poison between Shutt, Roberts, Jarvis, and Shutt, Roberts, Savard, and Nyrop. As Hathaway does not have power, they could either tie or go for it. They go for it. Oh my goodness, they're going to tie. So it looks like Doug Jarvis will be the lucky contestant to face him, as neither of them have power. And we move on to the next segment here in this one. Home scoring chance of a 56. Any visitor player with a square stops a Montreal goal. We do. Charlie McAvoy does have a square printed on his card, so he will stop the Montreal goal from getting past Linus Ullmark, as he will block the shot, and we move on to the next segment. Visitor scoring chance of a 13. Home goalie must make play save, otherwise it's a goal. So Ken Dryden needs to make a 4 or 5 with a dot to make the save. He will do so. Nobody flips, and we move on. Penalty check between anybody on the ice for the Habs against player number 1. Oh, yes. Brad Marchand's going to go to the box. Anyway, but for you Boston fans, unfortunate. So it looks like pick your poison between anybody who's going to take it. I think we'll go with Steve Shutt, as Brad Marchand will go to the box as Shutt moves in on Linus Ullmark for a power play goal opportunity. Ullmark needs to make a 1, 2, or 3 to make the stop. He can't, and the Habs will score a power play goal thanks to Steve Shutt. Let's see how many assists. We're handing out 2 assists on the goal. Jacques Lemar and I think we'll go with Serge Savard. So Shutt from Lemar and Serge Savard will be your power play goal scoring stat line for that Steve Shutt power play goal. We have a quality check, this time between players 5 and 3. Nosek and Nyrop for star. Neither player have star, and that's going to do it for the second period as the Habs lead game 1, courtesy of a power play goal from Steve Shutt. And at the end of 40 minutes, the score is 2-1 here at the Forum in Montreal. Visitor scoring chance to begin the third period home goalie must make play save. And I rolled a 13, which means home goalie must make play save. Ken Dryden needs to make a 4 or 5 with a dot to do so. Oh, 5 blank. Tie game. The Boston Bruins score the goal. Let's see who scored it. 2. It's going to be the 4th best shot rating. So the best is David Pastrnak. The second best is a tie between Coyle and Bertuzzi. And oddly enough, the 4th best is going to go to either Carlo or Forbort. Dot, it's going to be Carlo. And it'll be Forbort. So Derek Forbort will score the game-tying goal. And how many assists? 2. I do want to keep Pastrnak out there. So we'll give it to Bertuzzi and Coyle. So Forbort from Tyler Bertuzzi and Charlie Coyle are your stat line for that game-tying goal to start the 3rd period. Oh my goodness, another visitor scoring chance. It's a 56. Any home player with a square stops a goal. You bet there are 4 chances. Gainey, Roberts, Robinson, or LaPointe. We will roll the red die. So 1, 2, 4, 5. A 3 or a 6 is a reroll. Player number 2, that's Jimmy Roberts. So he will stop the Boston goal from getting past him and getting to Ken Dryden's net, hopefully to take the lead. And we move on to the next segment with a quality check, this time between anybody on the ice for the Habs, and it will be against Taylor Hall. We're looking for smart. Pick your poison. I think we'll go with Bob Gainey. Both guys have smart, and we move on to the next segment here in this one. Oh, and the goofball. Brad Marchand's back out there. And we move on. Home scoring chance, 46. Visitor defense player in 1. And who? Speak of the devil. It's Brad Marchand. He stops a goal with a quality roll of hit or a square, which he does have hit. Wow. Who knew that Brad Marchand would stop a Montreal goal? Habs fans are like, Marchand, you suck. And we move on to the next segment. Another home scoring chance, this time of 33. Home player in 1, that's Wilson, creates a goal with smart or a triangle. He does have smart, but no triangle. But however, he does have smart. So he's moving in on Linus Ullmark to hopefully end it right here, which Wilson will shoot and scores. Wow. So Maury Wilson will score the goal. Let's see how many assists we're giving out on the play. 2. It looks like we're going to give Guy Lafleur and Larry Robinson the assists on the Maury Wilson goal. The go-ahead goal for the Habs. And we continue on here in this segment with another home scoring chance. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a 42. So visitor player. Excuse me. Home scoring chance. My fault. 42 reads, any home player with a triangle creates a goal. Who knew? Shutt, Mahovlich, or Guy Lapointe will be one of those guys scoring the goal. Here's what we'll do. We'll roll the red die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it'll be Guy Lapointe scoring the goal, creating the goal chance. Let's see if he can do so. 1, 2, or 3 will stop it. Nope. The Habs score. Guy Lapointe gets the goal and 2 assists. It'll be Shutt and Tremblay. Actually, no, Shutt and Mahavlich. Sorry, my bad. So Gila points will get the goal from Steve Shutt and Pete Mahavlich, and that forces us to not go to the empty net mini chart if the Bruins can stop it right here. Visitor scoring chance of a 25. Home goalie must make spec save. Ken Dryden, one or two, is going to do it. And it will stop the clock. My goodness. So at the end of it all, the Canadiens will go up 1-0 over the 22-23 Boston Bruins as Ken Dryden makes the spec save. Nobody will flip, so everybody stays out there on the ice for game number 2. Coming up next, right after we have this timeout to show you our game 1 game summary presented as always by your favorite Bitty Beer products. If you choose to drink Bitty Beer, please drink responsibly. As always, it has big taste. At a bitty price, it's Bitty Beer. And welcome back to the channel, everybody, as we get set for game 2 of this time frame here with 46 minutes and 33 seconds left on the clock. As you can see, the Montreal Canadiens currently lead this time frame by winning their last contest by, I remember off the top of my head, by a final score of 4-2. And hopefully the Boston Bruins can get themselves a chance back to come back and play in this one to get this time frame an actual time frame again. So with that being said, your starting goaltenders for this game 2 is Ken Dryden in net for the Habs, and Jeremy Swayman is going to go for the Bruins. And without further ado, let's get to it. Start the clock. And we're going to get set with a visitor scoring chance of a 34. Visitor player in 1, that's Bob Gainey, creates a goal with a quality roll of speed or a triangle. He does not have a triangle, however, he does have speed. Bob Gainey will move in on Jeremy Swayman, who needs to make a 1, 2, or 3 with a dot to do so. Can't, and they score. The Habs lead 1-0, courtesy of Bob Gainey. And let's see how many assists we're handing out on the play. Only 1 assist. And it's going to end up being between Tremblay and Savard. I do want to keep at least 1 square out there. So I think we're going to go with either way, either 2 or 1. It doesn't really matter. At least, I think we're going to give it to Tremblay. We'll give it to Tremblay. Gainey from Tremblay is your stat line for the ice-breaking goal of play today. We got a quality check, this time between players 1 and 5. That's Bertuzzi and Nyrop, and we're looking for star. Neither of them have star, and we will move on to the next segment. Home scoring chance of a 36. Home player in 4. That's Brandon Carlo. He creates a goal with a quality roll of skill or a triangle. Carlo does not have a triangle, but he does have skill, so he's going to be moving in on Ken Dryden. Hopefully, he needs to make a play save to keep this game at 1-0, or else it's going to be tied. And it remains 1-0. So close. So we move on to the next segment. Penalty check between both players in 5. That's Lindholm and Lapointe. Both guys have the same penalty rating of 0.5. So nothing will do for you there, as the referee tells both guys, play on. But if I catch you doing it again, you're going to the sin bin. Home scoring chance of a 61. Any visitor player with a circle prevents a power play goal. You bet we have one. Doug Jarvis will prevent a power play goal for Boston. And with that, the first period comes to a close, as after 20 minutes in the books, your score is 1-0 in favor of the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens. Oh, and we got triple twos. This is a critical face-off. Oh, unlucky. Wow. Patrice Bergeron will win this critical face-off, as he does have a 61 to Jacques Lemar's 55. Oh, man, unlucky. Ooh. So that means Patrice Bergeron will get an immediate 6-star shot against the opposing goalie's spec save rating, which is a 1 or 2 to make the stop. And he does keep this game right where it's at, of 1-0. Wow. I'm going to flip Lamar. So that way he was used for the face-off check, and we move on. Visitor scoring chance of a 36. It says visitor player in 3, that's Pete Mahovlich, creates a goal opportunity with a quality roll of power or a triangle. He does have power and he does have a triangle, so he's going to be moving in on Jeremy Swayman, who needs to make a 1, 2, or 3 with a dot to make the stop. Oh, 3 blank, can't do it. Mahovlich will score, and the Canadiens lead the 22-23 Bruins by a score of 2-0. This is really, really upsetting here. But who knows? It could go either way. So let's see how many assists we're giving out. 2. So it looks like Savard, and I think we'll go with Mahovlich from Savard and Roberts is your goal scoring tally for the 2-0 Habs lead. We continue on in this segment with a quality check between both players in 4. First star, that's McAvoy and Robinson. Star is the quality. Both guys have star, and just another day in the life of a no action segment. And we move on to the next segment in this second period. Quality check, this time between anybody on the ice for the Bruins against Guy Lafleur, and we're looking for star. The only guy with star out there is David Pastrnak, so he's going to, he and Guy Lafleur will tie as we move on to the next segment. Quality check, anybody on the Bruins against Wilson for power. Oh, Maury Wilson's not going to win this one, so pick your poison. So the Bruins are going to win this one. How about we go with How about we go with... Ooh, I do want to keep a triangle out there, so we'll go with Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall will win that one. So he moves in on Ken Dryden, hopefully to make the play save. A 4 or 5 with a dot. We'll do it. Can't, and the Bruins get on the board courtesy of Taylor Hall. So Taylor Hall will score the goal. 2 assists will be handed out on the play. So it looks like Dabrowski's going to get one of them. And the second assist, I believe the second assist, I'm going to give it to... I do want to keep Nosek out there just in case if I roll 444s or 555s. I think we're going to keep one circle out there, and I want to keep Carlo out there just in case for the square. So we're going to give the second assist to Derek Forbort. So Hall from DeBrusk and Forbort will be your stat line for the Boston goal to get them on the board. We stay in this segment with a visitor scoring chance of a 64. Visitor defense stop, breakaway chance. Home goalie must make a play save. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. This is not good if you're Jeremy Swayman. He must make a play save, so it's a 2 or 3 with a dot to do so. Can't. Scores. Let's see who scored the goal. 4. Third best shot rating on the Habs. So it's a tie. No, currently Tremblay has the Tremblay does have the best shot rating out there on the ice, with courtesy of the Decide or Die. Wilson and Jarvis are tied, so that means the third best shot is going to go to either Savard or Nairop. Let's roll the Decide or Die. Dot, it's Savard. And it will be Nairop. Nairop will get the goal, and it looks like how many assists? 2 assists will be handed out on the play. So it will be Tremblay and I think Tremblay and Jarvis will get the assists for that goal. And it's 3-1 on a breakaway opportunity from Bill Nairop. And we continue on here with a visitor scoring chance of a 43. We have any visitor player with a triangle creates a goal. Yes, Jacques Lemar or Guy Lapointe will get the opportunity here. Let's say dot, it's Lemar. And it will be Guy Lapointe with the chance to extend the Habs lead. Swayman needs to make a 2 or 3 with a dot. He does. So Guy Lapointe will fail on that one. And the second period comes to a close as the Bruins do get on the board, but not before the Habs extend their lead by a score of 3-1 after 40 minutes are played in the books for Game 2. We're going to a quality check to begin the third period between players 5 and 1. That's Lindholm and Wilson. We're looking for power. Oh, Hampus Lindholm is going to win that battle as he does have power. So he's moving in on Ken Dryden, hopefully to make the play save. A 4 or 5 with a dot will do so. And he does make the stop. And we continue on to the next segment. We have a Visitor scoring chance of a 12. Home goalie must make a play save. Yikes. Swayman's not doing too good, so I think there's going to be a goaltending change coming up next game. So let's see if he does so. Swayman needs to make a 2 or 3 with a dot to do so. Can't. Scores. Let's see who scored the goal. 10. Second best shot rating. So the best right now is Shot. The second best is Lamar. So Jacques Lamar will get the goal, and we will be handing out 2 assists. It looks like Shot and Savard will get the assists. So it'll be Lamar from Shut and Savard. And we stay in this next period, or excuse me, we stay in this segment. Coming up, which is a quality check, this time between players 2 and 4. That's Hathaway and Robinson. Oh my goodness, we're looking for speed. Larry Robinson does have speed, as he's going to be moving in on Jeremy Swayman, who needs to make a 2 or 3 with a dot to do so. Can't. And it looks like the Boston Bruins are going to lose this one. It is 5-1, and that may seal it, as Robinson scores the goal. 2 assists will be handed out on the play. So Mahavlich and we'll give it to Nyrop. So Robinson from Mahavlich and Nyrop will be your stat line for the 5-1 lead for the Habs. Quality check, this time between players. Hathaway needs to flip. Sorry about that. Between players 3 and 1, that is Nosek and Gainey. We're looking for Smart. Both guys have Smart, and that's going to do it for that segment. And it looks like the Habs may end up going up 2-0 in this time frame as we move on to the next segment. Home scoring chance of a 36. Home player in 4 creates a goal with a quality roll of hit or a triangle. Home player in 4, that's Carlo. He does have hits, so he's going to be moving in on Ken Dryden, hopefully to gain some decency for the Bruins here heading into Game 3, which Carlo will shoot. And Ken Dryden makes the save. So we move on to the final segment of the game with a quality check between players 4 and 3. That's McAvoy and Jarvis. And we're looking for power. Oh, McAvoy has power. Jarvis does not. So one last shot for the Bruins as McAvoy moves in on Dryden, who needs to make a 4 or 5 with a dot. And he does so. Stop the clock. So with that being said, Game 2 goes to the Montreal Canadiens with a final score of 5-1 as they take a 2-0 time frame lead. With that being said, stay tuned coming up next stay tuned for Game 3 coming up next, and stay tuned for the Bitty Beer Game 2 game summary presented by Bitty Beer. If you choose to drink Bitty Beer, please drink responsibly. As always, it has a big taste. At a bitty price, it's Bitty Beer. And welcome back, everybody, to the channel here as we get set for Game 3 of this time frame between the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens and the 22-23 Boston Bruins. Your starting goaltenders for Game 3 is going to be, of course, Linus Ullmark. And for the Habs, it'll be Michel Larocque going for the Habs. So with that being said, as you can see, the Habs lead by a time frame score of 2-0. Should the Bruins whoops. There we go. Should the Bruins magically be victorious in this game, the series would be it's still in the Habs' favor, 2-1, and the Bruins would be on the board. Hoping it would be resulting in this game right here. Without further ado, let's see what the dice have to say in this one. So without further ado, let's have the clock operator, if they are in there, please, will you do us a favor and start the clock? We're going to begin this game with a quality check, this time between players 2 and 5. That's Roberts and Forbort, and we're looking for the quality of power. Both guys have power, and we are going to move on to the next segment. Home scoring chance of a 21. Visitor goalie must make shot save. Oh, Linus Ullmark has a shot save rating of 1 or 2 with a dot to hopefully make the save. Yikes. Should have went with Swayman, but of course he played his game and didn't fare too well, so I went with Ullmark today. So whatever. So again, Ullmark needs to make a 1 or 2 with a dot to make the stop. He won't, and the Habs will score. Let's see who scored the goal. 6. 6 is player with the best shot rating, and right now on the ice, that is Guy Lafleur. So Guy Lafleur will score the goal, and 2 assists will be handed out on the play, as it will be Lamar and Savard or Lapointe. I do want to keep at least one of each symbol out there. So we'll go with Lamar and Savard for the assist takers on the Guy Lafleur ice-breaking goal, and the Habs lead it 1-0 here in Game 3 of this time frame. We continue on in the 10th minute with a quality check, this time between players, anybody on the ice for the Habs against player number 3, that's Charlie Coyle for the Bruins. And we're looking for power. Pick your poison between Tremblay, Mahovlich, Robinson, and Lapointe. I think we're going to let the red die decide. So we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, or a 6 is a reroll. So player number 3, that's Pete Mahovlich. So both guys have power, and we will move on to the next segment in game number 3 of this time frame. Oh, and it's a 3-3, so we got a critical face-off. So check each team's best face-off rating. So it looks like we have Patrice Bergeron with a 61 and Doug Jarvis with a 60. Boston edges out Montreal for that critical face-off. So Bergeron will win that one as he moves on in to Michel Larocque's spec save rating of 1, 2, or 3 to make the stop. 4, 5, or 6 will not do it. It won't. Tie game. Patrice Bergeron will score. And let's see how many assists we're handing out on the play. Looks like it'll be 5. So 1 assist. Ooh, pick your poison between Pasternak, Marchand, and Lindholm. I think we're going to give it to Lindholm. We'll give it to Lindholm for the assists, and as Bergeron scores the goal. The game-tying goal here in the first period off of a critical faceoff. And just like that, the game is tied at 1, and we move on to the next portion of this segment. Quality check, this time between players 2 and 5. That's Tremblay and Forboard again. We're looking for hits. Both guys have hits, and just like how the way the cookie crumbles, we move on to the next segment in this one. We got a quality check, this time between players 5 and 3. That's Lapointe and Nosek. We're looking for speed. It looks like Tomasz Nosek has speed as he moves in on Michel Larocque, who needs to make a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 with a dot. To make the save, which he does to keep this game tied right where it is at. And of course, I am playing this every game in this time frame and in this project with Hockey Blast Express. I will leave a link to the game down below in the description, so that way you guys can check it out for yourself. With that being said, the period will come to a close, and after 20 minutes in the books, we are tied at 1 apiece. Quality check to begin the second period between both players in 3. That's Coyle and Jarvis. We're looking for speed. Both guys have speed, and we move on to the next segment in this one. Visitor scoring chance of a 44. Any visitor player with a triangle creates a goal. Pick your poison between Marchand, Pastrnak, and Bergeron. I think this is going to be tough. I do want to keep Bergeron out there just in case I roll triple threes or triple twos again. Pastrnak I want to keep out there, but I'm really hesitant on using Brad Marchand. Here's what we'll do. We'll let the red die decide. 1, 2 is Marchand. 3, 4 is Pastrnak. 5, 6 is Bergeron. It'll be Brad Marchand, the hothead. So Marchand moves on in to Michel Larocque, who needs to make a 4 or a 5 with a dot to make the save, which he will. And we move on to the next segment. Home scoring chance, 24. It says, visitor goalie must make spec save, otherwise it's a goal. Linus Ullmark is known for a lot of spec saves throughout the 22-23 NHL's regular season. So he has a 1, 2, 3. In order to make the spec save, 1, 2, 3, or 4 will do so. 5 or a 6 won't do it. Oh, and of course he will. He stands on his head to keep this game tied. Linus Ullmark does it once again. Nobody changes, and we move on. Visitor scoring chance of a 42. Visitor player in 5, that's Nyrop, not Nyrop, sorry. Visitor player in 5, that's Lindholm, creates a goal with a quality roll of star or a triangle. Unfortunately, Lindholm does not have a triangle, but he does have star. So he's moving in on Michel Larocque, hopefully to make the play save. 4 or 5 with a dot will do so. Oh, 5 with a blank won't do it. Lindholm will score. Hampus Lindholm will put the Bruins in front 2-1. And how many assists are we handing out on the play? 2. Looks like it will be Bertuzzi and Pastrnak will get the assists on the Hampus Lindholm goal. Or excuse me, the go-ahead goal for right now by Hampus Lindholm. we continue on in this portion of the segment, and with a quality check between players 3 and 5. That is Lamar and Forbort. We're looking for star. It looks like Jacques Lamar is going to win that one, as Forbort does not have star, but Lamar does. So Lamar will move on in to Lena Solmark, who needs to make a 1, 2, or 3 to make the play save. Can't, and the game is tied at 2. Lamar scores. How many assists? 2. Larry Robinson is 1. And I think we'll give it to Bill Nyrop. So Lamar from Robinson and Nyrop are your assist takers for the Jacques Lamar goal. And we move on. Visitor scoring chance of a 22. Home goalie must make shot save. Michel Larocque needs to make a 1 or 2 to stop it. Can't, and the Bruins take the lead again. Let's see who scores the goal. 7. Player with the best shot rating. So right now, that is Jake DeBrusk. So Jake DeBrusk will score the goal, and 2 assists will be handed out on the play, as Hall and Bergeron will assist DeBrusk on the goal. And the Bruins take the 3-2 lead as we stay right here in this 20-minute segment of the second period. Visitor scoring chance, 64. Visitor defense stop, breakaway, home. Oh, excuse me. Home defense stop, breakaway. Oh, sorry. 164. Oh, it's a visitor. Sorry, it's a visitor scoring chance. Visitor defense stop, breakaway chance. Home goalie must make a play save. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 with a dot will do so. And Michel Larocque does. So that's going to do it for the second period. And after 40 minutes in the books here in Game 3, Boston leads it 3-2 over the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens. We start the third with a quality check between players 1 and 2. That is going to be Wilson and Hathaway for power. Neither player has power. And we move on to the next segment here in this one. Quality check, this time between Schutt and Forbort. Oh, Forbort was used, I believe. Was he used? I think he was. Yeah, I'm gonna say he was. I'm gonna say he wasn't. So 1 and 5, Forbort and Schutt for smart. Both guys have smart. Now he's used. I'm losing it. So Lindholm will be the new guy up on top. Gainey will be the new guy on top for the Habs. Moving on. Quality check between players 3 and 5. That is Mahovlich and Lindholm for hit. Neither player has hit, and we move on to the final segment before we go to the empty net mini chart. Quality check between players 3 and 2. That's Jarvis and Pasternak. We're looking for speed, as both guys have speed, so a quiet third period here as we head to the empty net mini chart, since the game is being decided. Or excuse me, since the game is coming to its end within a 1-goal lead. So keep your eyes on this number right here, the empty net mini chart number. And we roll a Nate, the game is over. Stop the clock. Holy cow, what a back and forth game that was. As Boston will indeed get on the board with a win to make it a time frame series once again by winning over the 76-77 Habs by a final score of 3-2. Stay tuned for the Biddy Beer game summary for Game 3, as well as Game 4 coming up right after this. And welcome back, everybody, as we get set for Game 4 of this time frame between the 76-77 Habs and the 22-23 Boston Bruins. As you can see, Boston won their first game of this time frame, winning 3-2 over the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens. But the 76-77 Habs still currently lead this time frame by a 2-1 score. As we get set for Game 4, as Ken Dryden will be in net for the Habs. Jeremy Swayman, tough decision for the coach, but they're going to keep swapping goalies here until they find some decency. So Swayman will start in net for the Bruins. I almost said Habs. Jeez. As we get set for Game 4 with 17:11 left on the clock, we are projected to at least play one more game, depending on if time remains on the clock. So without further ado, just in case if the clock does run out this game, I know all these games have been played really slow because of I'm keeping track of the assists, but even though assists are not part of Hockey Blast Express, I like to play them out and hand out assists as well. It's part of hockey, so why not? So without further ado, if the clock does hit 0 in this game, Game 4 will be it. If time remains, we will definitely play Game 5. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Will the clock operator please start the clock? We're going to begin with a visitor scoring chance of a 21. Home goalie must make shot save. And right off the bat, Jeremy Swayman is going to have to be tested early as anyone on the Habs is going to move in on Swayman, who needs to make a 1 in order to make the stop, which he won't, as the Habs will score, and it's 1-0. Montreal early. And let's see who scored the goal. 12. Roll a dice. A 1 or a 6, a 6 will be a reroll. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 will score the goal. 6, again, will be a reroll. Player number 1, that's Bob Gainey. So Bob Gainey will score the goal. And how many assists? 1. So it will be... I think we're going to give it to Lamar. So Gainey from Lamar is your ice-breaking goal stat line here in game number 4. We got a quality check between anybody on the ice for the Bruins and player number 4, that's Serge Savard for power. Pick your poison between DeBrusque, Nosek, Carlo, and Forbort. I think we're going to go with Nosek. Savard and Nosek do have power, and we move on to the next segment here in this one. We got a quality check, this time between players 1 and 5. That's Marchand and Guy Lapointe for power. Guy Lapointe's going to win that battle as the hothead. Brad Marchand will lose that one as Guy Lapointe will move in on Swayman, who needs to make a 2 or 3 with a dot to make the stop. And Swayman does so. Wow. And just for that, Brad Marchand can go to the back of the pile in number 1. Home scoring chance of a 25. Choice home player rolls for a goal using assist stars +2. Well, here's the deal. Tyler Bertuzzi is going to end up getting a 3 or a 4. DeBrusk is going to get a 2 or 3. Same with Coyle. 2 or 3 with a dot. I think we're going to get that chance to Tyler Bertuzzi. We're going to give the goal chance to Tyler as he needs to make a 3 or 4 with a dot to score the goal. Can't, and Dryden will save that one. And we move on to the next segment. Quality check between both players in 5. That's Nyrop and Forbort. We're looking for speed. Bill Nyrop does have speed as he moves in on Jeremy Swayman, who needs to make a 2 or 3 with a dot to make the stop. Can't and the Habs extend their lead by 2 as Bill Nyrop will score the goal. And how many assists are given out on the goal? 2. We are going to give one to Robinson and the other to Pete Mahavlich. So Nyrop from Robinson and Mahavlich will be your stat line for the Bill Nyrop goal. And Boston is like shaking their heads on what do we have to do to beat this team. Got to attack them early. And we got a quality check right here with a 5 and a 4. That's Forbort. Oh, Forbort was used. Sorry about that. So between Lindholm and Savard for hit. Neither player has hit. And we move on to the next period as the first period does come to a close. Your score at the end of 20 minutes is the Habs 2 and the Bruins nothing. Home scoring chance of a 53. It says visitor defense player in 4. That's Robinson. He scores a goal, or excuse me, he stops a goal with hit or a square. He does have hit and he does have a square, so he's going to stop that goal stop the Boston goal from getting past him and towards Ken Dryden. And we move on to the next segment. Home scoring chance once again, a 24. Visitor goalie must make a spec save. Ooh, Ken Dryden needs to roll a 1 or a 2 to stop it. Otherwise, it's going to be a goal. It is a goal, and the Bruins do get on the board. Let's see who scored it. 12. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 6 will be a reroll. 3. That's Charlie Coyle. So Charlie Coyle will score the goal. And how many assists are given out on the goal? 2. We've seen DeBrusk, and we're getting one from Hall. So Coyle from DeBrusk and Hall is going to be your stat line for the getting on the board goal for the Bruins. We got a quality check, this time between players 3 and 4. That's Bergeron and Savard for power. Both guys have power, and we move on to the next segment here in this one. Quality check this time between quality check between anybody on the ice for the Bruins and player number 4. That's Robinson for speed. Pick your poison between Marchand, Nosek, Carlo. How about we go with Brandon Carlo? Both guys have speed, and we move on to the next segment in this one. We got a quality check between players 5 and 1, Forbort and Wilson, and we're looking for power. Forbort has power as he moves in on Dryden, hopefully to make the play save. 4 or 5 with a dot will do so. 5 with a blank won't do it. Game is tied. Derek Forbort will score the goal. And 2 assists will be handed on to the play. So McAvoy and Brad Marchand will seal it up for Derek Forbort's game for the game-tying goal, courtesy of Derek Forbort. And we continue on in this portion of the segment with a visitor scoring chance, 21. Home goalie must make shot save. Yikes. Good luck keeping this game tied because you need to roll a 1 or you need to exactly roll a 1, which is 1 in 6 odds, which you won't. With a 2, as Montreal will score. Let's see who scored it. 6, player with the best shot rating. So player with the best shot rating right now is Guy Lapointe. So Guy Lapointe will score the goal, and 1 assist will be handed out on the play. How about defenseman for defenseman? Savard and Lapointe will be your assist takers on that, on the go-ahead goal here in this one. Quality check between anybody on the ice for the Habs and player number 3. That's Nosek. We're looking for speed. Wilson, Jarvis, Robinson, and Nyrop both have speed. All have speed. We're going to go right across from them. Nosek and Jarvis both have speed, and that's how the period is going to come to a close as the Habs currently lead this period, or excuse me, currently lead Game 4 by a score of 3-2 as we head to the final period of Game 4. It's a quality check between both players in 1, Bertuzzi and Wilson. Wait a minute, Wilson was used. I just remembered on the Derek Forbort goal. My fault. So again, it's Shutt and Bertuzzi as we look for power. Both guys have power, and we move on in this one. Home scoring chance of a 12. Visitor goalie must make a play save. So it's going to be a 4 or 5 with a dot to do so. 5 or a blank or 6 won't do so. Ken Dryden, as usual, makes the save to keep this game right where it's at of 3-2. Visitor scoring chance of a 45. Any visitor player with a power play circle star symbol creates a power play goal. Oh no, the Habs don't have a power play circle star out there, so that's not going to do anything. So no action in that segment, and we move on to the final segment before we go to the empty net mini chart of a penalty check between both players in 1. Both players have the same penalty rating of 0.5, and the ref says if I catch you doing it again, you're going to the sin bin. And we head now to the empty net mini chart. So keep your eye on the number whoops. So keep on your eyes on the number that I highlighted right here. 10. Game is over. Stop the clock. Okay, with 5 minutes and 11 seconds left, indeed, we will play out Game 5 of this time frame as the Habs win Game 4 by a final score of 3-2 over the 22-23 Boston Bruins. As always, stay tuned for our Bitty Beer game summary of Game 4, presented by your favorite Bitty Beer products. If you choose to drink Bitty Beer, please drink responsibly. As always, it has big taste. At a bitty price, it's Bitty Beer, as well as stay tuned for Game 5 coming up right after this. And with 5 minutes and 11 seconds left on the clock, and it looks like Game 5 will be played out. But here's the situation. The Bruins, should they win or lose, won't win this time frame as the Habs secured their 5th time frame win in 7 time frames matchups as we here in this project as the Habs move to a time frame project record of 5-1-1. So they lost one. So yeah, the Habs lost one, won 5, and they tied 1. So with that being said, you're as we get set for this penultimate game for Game 5, the Habs already won the time frame, but um, for decency, the Bruins look to win this game. Otherwise, the Habs are going to win it by a final time frame score of maybe 4-1 or 3-2, depending on how the outcome of this game will be. The clock is at 5 minutes and 11 seconds. It will reach 0 in the middle of this game. So once that happens, I will take a look at from the time when the clock hits 0 to the time that I say stop the clock on the actual recording, on the recording time on my on OBS. I'm using OBS to record all these games and all the games of this time frame and of this project. So without further ado, with 5 minutes and 11 seconds left, let's get right into it. For the final time this time frame, will the clock operator please start the clock? We got a visitor scoring chance right off the bat with a 25. Home goalie must make spec save. Ken Dryden needs to. Oh, excuse me. Yes. Yes, home goalie must make 25. Yes, spec save. So it looks like 1 or 2 will do it. Otherwise, 3, 4, or 5 or 6 won't do it, and Boston will be in front. Boston is in front. Boston is in front, and let's see how many assists, or excuse me, who scored the goal? 9. Player with the second best shot rating. So the best right now is Marchand. The second best is going to be a tie between Hathaway, Coyle, and Lindholm. I do want to keep Lindholm out there, so we're going to go down to Hathaway or Coyle. It's Hathaway. And it'll be Charlie Coyle. And how many assists? 4. So excuse me, 2 assists. So it looks like Marchand and Lindholm. Unfortunately for Lindholm, he has to swap places, even though I told him not. Even though I already said he's going to stay out there. So again, it was Coyle from Marchand and Lindholm. We got a quality check, this time between players 1 and 3. Wilson and, excuse me, yes, Wilson and Bergeron. We're looking for smart. Both guys have smart, and we move on to the next segment in this one. We got a home scoring chance of a 23. Visitor goalie must make spec save. Oh, Swayman needs to make it 1, 2, 3, or 4. A 5 or a 6 will not do so. Oh my goodness. And Montreal is going to score the goal. Game is tied at 1. Let's see who scored it. 10. Player with the second best shot rating. So the best is Shot. The second best is Jacques Lemar. So Jacques Lemar will score the goal. And 2 assists will be handed out on the play. Robinson and Shutt will be your assist takers for the Jacques Lemar game tying goal. We got a quality check, this time between players 5 and 2, Nyrop and Hathaway. We're looking for star. Neither player has star, and we move on to the next segment in this one. Visitor scoring chance of a 24. Home goalie must make spec save. 1 or 2 will do so for Ken Dryden. And he does. So nobody flips, and we move on to the next segment. Penalty check between both players in 5, as both guys have the same penalty rating of 0.5. Ref says, keep playing on, gentlemen, but if you do it again, or if I catch either one of you doing something silly, you're going to the sin bin. And with that, the first period will come to a close. At the end of 20, it's 1-1. We're deadlocked at 1 apiece. Home scoring chance of a 45. Any home player with a power play circle star creates a power play goal. Once again, the Habs don't have a power play circle out there, so that's not going to do anything for them. And in this 5th minute of the second period, so we move on to the next segment. Visitor scoring chance of a 55. Home player in 5. That's Nyrop. He stops a goal. He stops a goal from, excuse me, a Boston goal from scoring as zeros expire on the clock with hit or a square. He does have hit and he does have a square, so he's going to stop that one. So game 5, this is going to be it, as the Habs will take this time frame, aim either by the final of 4-1 or 3-2. We move on to the 15th minute of the second period. With a quality check, both players in 4 are going to be looked at. We're looking for skill. Both have skill, and we move on in this one. Visitor scoring chance of a 56. Any home player with a square stops the visitor goal. Pick your poison between Gainey, Roberts, Robinson, and Lapointe. I'm not going to pick Lapointe just in case if ever I need to pick out a power play circle star. I'm not picking Lapointe this time. So it's either going to be Gainey, Roberts, or Robinson. So 1, 2, it's Gainey. 3, 4 is Roberts. 5, 6 is Robinson. And it's it'll be Jimmy Roberts who stops the goal from scoring. And we move on in this one. And after 40 minutes, we are still deadlocked at 1 apiece. Quality check between both players in 2, Lafleur and Pasternak. We're looking for power. Excuse me. Both guys have power. No, I'm sorry. Pasternak has power as he moves in on Ken Dryden, hopefully to put the Bruins ahead with a 5 or a 5 with a blank or a 6. A 4 or 5 with a dot will not do it. And Dryden makes the save. This game is becoming an average Habs versus Bruins rivalry game. Let's move on and see what happens here as we head to a visitor scoring chance. 54. Home player in 4. That is Robinson. He stops the Boston goal from getting past him with a quality roll of hit or a square. He does have hit and he does have a square. So that is going to be it for that segment as we remain tied at 1 apiece. Home scoring chance of a 23. Visitor goalie must make spec save. Jeremy Swayman is known for a lot of these. 4, 1, 2, 3, or 4 will do so. 5 or 6 won't do it. Jeremy Swayman stands on his head as he makes the spec save. So nobody will nobody will flip. And let's take a look at the final segment here before we possibly head to sudden death overtime. Penalty check between between Savard and DeBrusque. Both guys have the same penalty rating, and guess what, folks? Game number 5 of this time frame is going to sudden death overtime. And again, the way how overtime works, we're going to be playing out the same way as playoff hockey, until either team scores a goal. We're going to play out the same 4 segments of 5 minutes each. The first period is going to be the first overtime. Second period is the second overtime. Third period, is the third overtime. Yada yada yada. So without further ado, let's reset the stage and let's get right into it with sudden death overtime presented by Pizza Kingdom, the official pizza joint of the Play Games community. We got a quality check between players 2 and 1. That's Tremblay and Bertuzzi. We're looking for hit. Tremblay has hit. This could be it. Jeremy Swayman needs to make a 2 or 3 with a dot to make the save. Otherwise, it's game over. He does. Wow. Jeremy Swayman at the right place at the right time bails out his teammate, Tyler Bertuzzi. Man, oh man, and we continue on in this first overtime period with a home scoring chance of a 44. Any home player with a power play circle creates a power play goal. You bet I kept Guy Lapointe out there. Oh, they're Yep, Robinson needs to flop. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm right. Guy Lapointe does have the power play circle star out there, as he is going to create a power play goal opportunity with a 2 with a 3 with a blank, or 3 or a blank. 3 and a blank through a 6. He does, and the Habs win it. Stop the clock. Wow. Guy Lapointe scores the game-winning power play goal as the Habs take this time frame by a final score of 2-1 and take the time frame, winning 4 games to 1. Wow, 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 wow. Let's see who got the assists on the power play goal. 6, 1 assist. It looks like we're going to give it to Pete Mahavlich, who's going to assist Mr. Guy Lapointe on the game tie, on the game winner on the power play. So the Bruins will, or excuse me, so the Habs will win this one, advance their record to 5-1-1 in this project, winning 4 games to 1, and in Game 5 by the final of 2-1. So without further ado, stay tuned for the Biddy Beer Game 5 game summary presented by your favorite Biddy Beer products. If you choose to drink Biddy Beer, please drink responsibly. As always, it has big taste at a Biddy price. It's Biddy Beer, as well as stay tuned for the next Wheel of Fate spin coming up right after we share with you the time frame stats presented by Biddy Beer. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's time frame matchup between the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens and the 2022-23 Boston Bruins. We look forward to bringing you future time frame matchups throughout the 2024-25 National Hockey League's regular season whenever games are being played. Once again, it's that time of day again where we figure out to see who will play the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens next in this Gauntlet Challenge. Without further ado, please direct your attention to the Biddy Beer Team Selector Wheel presented by your favorite Biddy Beer products. If you choose to drink Biddy Beer, please drink responsibly. It has big taste at a Biddy price. Biddy Beer. Without further ado, let's spin the wheel. And it looks like the 95-96 Philadelphia Flyers will be playing the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens next in this Gauntlet Challenge. But between the Flyers and the Habs, who's going to be the home team? As always, please direct your attention to the Doc Cola home team selector wheel as it's already decided. The 76-77 Montreal Canadiens to be the home squad for the next time frame. So there you have it. The 95-96 Flyers will take on the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens in the next time frame. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in to today's action. If you liked what you saw in the game, if you liked, or excuse me, I should say, if you liked how things are being played out, please leave a like on this video. As always, if you have not done so already, please hit the subscribe button and turn on that notifications bell so that way you don't miss out on anything when it comes to this project, as well as other content that I may post here on my channel. Once again, thank you for tuning in. And as always, have a great rest of your day.